Good afternoon. You're Francisco Castillo,
Yes, Francisco Castillo with Union Pacific Railroad.
and it's a little bit after 1 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock, and you're out. How long have you been out here today?
We've been out here since 9:30 p.m. last night. So our crews have been working hard. I've been working diligently and efficiently to try to get these rail cars off the tracks. I mean, number one was the safety of the individuals that were involved in this derailment, to make sure that they got out safely, and number two, to make sure that the rail cars involved in this derailment are out of these tracks, and that takes a lot of work. There's 2 out of the 5 rail cars that were derailed. One of them down a creek, the other one in the upright position. It takes a lot of machinery, cranes, personnel, and passion by these UP workers and dedication to be able to get this done in a timely manner. And they've been able to accomplish that. And we hope to have the tracks clear by 4 o'clock.
What have they been able to do today so far?
So been able to pretty much do everything. They've removed 3 out of the 5, actually now 4 out of the 5 rail cars that made up the train. As you know, 2 of the rail cars were derailed. So there's now only 1, which is the one down the creek that's been derailed, and that's the one that they're now going to focus on to, bring it down to the river and bring it up with cranes and try to re-rail that rail car back on the tracks and get it pulled out, just like they did with the previous one that they just moved out of there.
How many resources have you brought here to the scene?
UP has extensive resources to be able to respond to these types of derailments. We have outside contractors that have the big machineries that we're able to use. We have UP personnel. We have, from engineering to our operating team to our track maintenance team. We have a pretty extensive team that's working diligently and efficiently to try to get these rail lines back up and running again. And we have, it's a partnership with local officials and local agencies as well. And we've been able to do that successfully today.
What happens after 4 p.m. when this last train comes up?
Well, the target is to get these rail lines, this rail line cleared by 4 p.m. Obviously, there may be some challenges that present themselves with this last rail car that they need to move. But the goal is to get these rail lines cleared by 4 p.m. And then they will focus on inspecting the track to make sure that there's no other damages done. There are some minimal damages to the track that they need to get fixed. For example, they need to get some concrete ties that need to be replaced, in addition to some clips that go on at ends of these concrete ties. But to that extent, there's no damages to the actual rail, which is a good thing. And that's what they're focused on after they clear these tracks, after they clear these cars.
And the clearing the cars comes the clearing of the trackway, checking for mud, examining the grade.
Yeah, the mud's gone. I mean, the mud, they've worked all night to shuffle a lot of that mud that was covering the wheels of the rail cars. So they've worked hard to try to clear that mud, which is why they were able to get these rail cars out of there now with no problem. But it's really ensuring that doing additional inspection on the tracks to ensure that they're safe, and that there's no other damages done, and if there are, they need to get fixed right away before they release the tracks and have them open again.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you.